beginning of time, we have been visited by beings we have referred to as angels, fairies, spirits, demons. We have seen strange lights and crafts in our skies. Creature sightings, such as Bigfoot, the Mothman, the Jersey Devil, and others, continue to be reported year after year. What is it we're seeing out there? Is this phenomenon all connected? More importantly, is it a threat? We all need a safe space in which to share our experiences, discuss the implications of the phenomena, and come together as a community of Forteans. That place is the bunker. Come and join us. And welcome everyone back into the safety of the bunker. It's been an interesting season. It is now the new year. With me, as always, is Beth.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Thanks for being here. In the middle of the apocalypse.
Crazy.
We plan on taking a short, break, like a mid-season kind of break. Mm-hmm. But just because of COVID and restrictions and holidays and a short break ended up being a very long break, and it ended up being,
yeah,
it's another year now. So
right
here we are. Anyway, we're going to be talking about something that we do a lot, just ourselves personally, and that's take walks in cemeteries. I'm sure some of you listening out there share this. Some people might freak you out, but we enjoy just taking a stroll through the cemetery, trying to find the oldest grave. That's like one key objective. Of course, we're usually carrying a recorder or something, and I mean, we found some pretty interesting evidence. I think for myself, I think that we have captured a lot of evidence in cemeteries.
Yeah.
Like far more than the average, I think. Because I'm
not sure.
I never really got a lot of evidence or even heard of anyone talking about all this evidence they got at cemeteries. I'm sure some people do.
Yeah.
But I think on the whole, most people just don't really, because the people aren't there anymore. There's, that's not where they were, that's not where they died.
Right.
But there is some kind of relationship to, the graves and the land and that whole ritual, if you want to call it that, of visiting a loved one in a graveyard. It's, I mean? It's kind of like a little ritual. You bring flowers or something that having to do with the holiday that's going on or whatever,
Yeah. Well, they say when you go there to visit them at their final resting place, because most of the time you're praying and things like that. So you bring their spirit will come with you and sit with you at that time, because they know you're upset and a lot of time you're grieving. So they'll come and sit with you, their spirit, but they don't hang out there at all.
Yeah. And it makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because it's almost like, well, that's not why they're going. I'm going to change what I was going to say. I was going to say it's almost like people are investigating kind of when they go there. But that's not really what I mean. But what I mean is, even people that may not necessarily talk about spirits or think about them on a regular basis, when they go to their loved one in the graveyard, they'll start talking, to that person.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that that energy would call them back if they're able to be there.
Yeah.
But they don't stay there. And I actually even put a interesting poll on Twitter, and back when I originally planned on doing this episode. And I asked, I'm trying to think of the wording of the question. It was essentially, where does the activity in a graveyard come from? Does it come from the souls of the dead, or does it come from the energy of the people coming to visit the dead, or both. And majority of people said both. It was like 60%, I think,
Yeah.
of the people that voted said it was a little of both. And I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think. You know, it's like you touched on it before. People coming to see their loved one, they're thinking about it, they're sad, they're, high emotional state. And then they sit and communicate. You know what I mean? It's almost like a seance anyway.
So then the energy, but when you do an EVP session and you're there at a cemetery, you're not going to get the energy an EVP of yourself. So that's it. I thought that was a good point. It would be that person that you hope would be hanging out there. You're not going to get an EVP from somebody that's alive.
Right. Right. But I'm curious if our energy sort of either adds to the energy that's there, or...
Well, sure, because you want your loved one there you're visiting your loved one, so your energy and your presence is making them, the energy of the loved one who have crossed over come to you. So you're kind of almost like calling in that energy and having that energy be with you, whether you're the cause of it or not. But same things, if you do a reading, you're tapping into that person's energy. So you can still tap into somebody's energy even though they crossed over.
Oh, I see. So, in a way, you're almost like making a rainbow bridge, in a way.
Sure.
But so anyway, yeah, so we just like walking around cemeteries, and, we'll always be recording.
Yeah. I like to read them too. The older the better. And then, to sit and see, what the family's been through, or try to think of what they did when they were here, how they lived. That's why I like going.
Yeah, exactly. That too. It's pretty cool. And when you see, like, for example, like an entire family, like all buried there, and you might, sometimes you'll see like the same date for a bunch of them. You're like, oh man. And it's fun, kind of.
Yeah.
Just thinking about, meditating on, like, man, like, how did all this go down?
Yeah.
What were they like when they were alive?
Yeah. Especially from the earlier the better, 1700, 1800, 1600.
Yeah. We're fortunate. We have a lot of graveyards around us that are, there's not many in the 1600s, but they're around. But a lot from the 1700s. And, of course, the 1800s. But, we're blessed in that way. We have a lot of old cemeteries around us. I mean, there's that cool one in, what's it called? Is it Lumberton? That Revolutionary War cemetery that was like off in the middle of nowhere. Remember that? Down that like weird dead end road?
Oh, yeah. Lumberton, yeah.
And there's a good many graves in there from the Revolution, like actual soldiers and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's just something we like to do. But on this program, I wanted to focus, sort of a jumping off point was my poll question. But we do have two cemeteries in particular we're going to talk about. And I'm going to play some EVPs that we captured while we were there. And we'll provide a little context and, see if we can, we'll see if we can figure out if these are intelligent responses or if they seem more residual or...
something I just thought of, how do you know that it's not, since the people that are buried there didn't die there, how do you know it's not the soul, the spirit of the people that lived on that land and worked on that land? Maybe there was a house on that land. How do you know it's not from that? Because when we go to dwellings and historical places, that's what we look for. So how do you know that that's what's coming through?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, I just thought of that.
It's a good point. Because, and in fact, it's interesting you brought that up, because on the second cemetery that we're going to discuss, St. Andrews, that's the first thing that came to mind when you said that, was in that graveyard, the church originally was on like the other side of the cemetery, and there was just space where the building is now, and the graves were aligned differently and stuff like that. But I think the church burned down or something, or... Yeah. And so they rebuilt it, but in a different spot. And so the whole church is in a different spot. Mm-hmm. Even though it's still the church and the cemetery there, even its own dwellings sometimes move around. So yeah, it's hard to tell, I think, unless it's the direct intelligent response to what you just said.
Yeah. Or how do you know? It could be even Native American ground to where there's no markers.
Right, exactly. Like it still could just
know.
be whoever was there before the cemetery, or who lives down the road, or
yeah,
because we don't really like your experience. I think I've heard you say this a bunch of times. Is it's like no one's stuck anywhere.
Right. I mean, if they die tragically or unexpected, they don't know that they have died. Then, they stay. But as soon as they know that they could go to the light, and sometimes you have to show them the way or cross them over or call in assistance from the other side, then they go. But they're not stuck here. That's what they tell me. They're not. No one's stuck here.
So, like your guides, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just makes a lot of sense. Like,
yeah.
If I become pure energy, in a way, thought or whatever,
yeah.
The soul is, whatever you want to call that.
Well, then there's question of earthbound spirits.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean...
It just doesn't make any sense that you'd be stuck somewhere.
We don't have all the answers.
Well, that's true, too.
Yeah.
We're just kind of stabbing in the dark, as it is.
Yeah.
Well, we have flashlights, but... Sorry. It's a bad joke.
Yeah.
But so the first one we're going to talk about is in Medford, New Jersey, and it is the Medford Methodist Cemetery. Again, there's a church there. There's like a little annex building, and then the cemetery next to the church. There's not like a historical marker or anything like that. There is one sign by the street that says that the burials are thought to have started here in the 1820s. The earliest legible date is 1836. Old area family names include Braddock, which is a common and popular name, with the
Braddock's Tavern,
with the tavern and everything. Prickett, Riley, Kirby, and Stackhouse.
Yeah, they're all common.
I couldn't help thinking of Silky Stackhouse when I saw that.
Yeah, right.
I was like, Silky. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so back in October, we took a walk around here. It was just before Halloween, so October 23rd, I believe it was.
I think so.
Yeah, we took a little walk around the cemetery. And one thing that, before I get to the EVPs, I'm sure you remember this, the voices, well, they started pretty much right away. We started hearing voices almost as soon as we walked in. Those were not recorded.
Yeah.
But that kind of started as soon as we walked in. But I was also having wild readings on the EDI,
which is
with the EMF in particular on the meter. I was finding that I would walk into like a spike, an area of higher EMF, and then I was able to trace it in a straight line. Remember, heading across the back of the whole cemetery, almost from one side to the next, over by the street. It almost seemed to like lead us over to one of the graves, and which is interesting. Is like there was a voice caught there too. But
yeah,
and so I was having and that's pretty rare. I don't really have that happen to me that much.
Yeah,
where you get EMF spikes, sometimes here and there, but like never have I been able to like trace it in a straight line, go straight across like in one direction, almost perfectly straight.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the power lines or anything like that. It wasn't anything in the ground. It was at like chest head level,
right,
to us, which is pretty cool. Because like I said, that doesn't really happen that often. I'm gonna play some EVPs from the Medford Methodist Cemetery, and we'll discuss as we.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll repeat it a couple times, and then we'll discuss. So this one is okay. So here's what I think is an intelligent response. It's teetering on a Class B. So I mean, some of these things are up for interpretation no matter what. Anyway, this voice seems to answer me directly, like right after I say something. So here we go. Oh, what I should probably do is turn up the volume on that input.
Oh, okay.
so that we can hear the audio. Sorry. Here we go. That's weird. Okay.
Turn up. Oh,
So I say, oh yeah, I will. So I say, well, that was weird. Because again, I was looking at my meter and it was getting these strange readings. And the voice comes right after that. Yeah, I'll play it a few more times and then we'll see what everyone thinks this says here. That's weird. Weird. That's weird.
It sounds like there's a before that too. A yes.
There's some. Yeah,
before
it sounds like
you talk.
It's like while I'm talking, it sounds like something.
No,
yeah,
right before you talk.
Right before I talk.
When you hit it. Yeah. When I. Yeah.
Right in the beginning there.
Yeah. In the beginning.
That's weird.
Who said yes, and then you said that's weird? Because you talk over it, so it has to be.
Yeah. Let me
play it again.
see. This is. I didn't even hear that before.
I thought I mentioned that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I heard
you
it,
may
but
have, but I don't remember hearing this at first. That's weird.
yeah. See, that's two different voices there.
It is. Yeah. Yes, I hear that now.
Yeah, that's somebody else.
Yeah, that's not me. That's crazy. Okay, well, there's another one. So that's cool. So that had two little ones in there.
So play it again.
But so
the whole thing.
That's weird.
Sounds like it says I got it out front or the guy out front.
Okay, yeah. See, it's Class B. Because I thought it said, I say that's. And it might be because I'm thinking of what I just said. But I just said
yes, right here. Wait.
But I say that's weird, and then I think it says you got that right. Like he's agreeing with me.
Well, the word right's in there. Well, play it again.
I'll play it one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. But it's interesting though that.
See what people think.
Hearing something else. That's weird.
It could be. Either. Yeah, that right. It could be either.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know.
Like I said,
I forget it was a while ago, but.
Yeah, I like I said, it's.
Yeah, it could be either.
It's Class B.
But you can still hear it.
Oh yeah, and it's not either of us, and there's no one else out there, and we didn't hear it at the time.
Right.
So, classic EVP in the true sense.
Well, you remember you said men hear things different than women, so.
Yeah, I've heard that. We hear frequencies differently.
Yeah. Well, I know you do. Just saying.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so this one is another voice. I'm not sure which one this is. We'll find out. There we go. I just heard a voice. Oh.
It's like,
Yeah, it's like a It's like a Mm-hmm. There's the first sound is a car.
Yeah.
In the distance, like revving up, and it's right after that. I just heard a voice again.
Yeah, like,
It's like, It's like a little hum kind of thing. But I heard it. Mm-hmm. Which is pretty cool. So that's disembodied, technically.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, no one else was around there. We were out there. It was like 9, 10 at night. It was dark, quiet. There was one guy in his yard that we saw like as we were leaving, but
yeah,
that was it. There's no one else around. You hear a car here and there on the recording, but there's no one to account for the voice. So okay, so this one, I think this is the clip where I was following those readings. You kind of ended up in the same spot, and then then we caught this.
Look like that, it drops. Look like this, it drops. Cool. 3.0, 3.5.
It sounds like a little kid. I don't know what he's saying. It's like
It does sound like a child. Yeah, and you can hear me. I have the meter in my hand, and I'm tracing that weird thing, and it's just led us over here to the spot, and then we get this weird kid's voice.
Yeah.
Look like that, it drops. Look like this, it drops. Cool. 3.0, 3.5. Cool. 3.0, 3.5.
There's another voice there. You hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Right before it starts, there's a little like a little mumble.
Cool. 3.0, 3.5.
Yeah.
3.0, 3.5.
Wonder if I don't know if you can clean that up, or I don't know. What's
I can try.
yeah.
My editing skills are like pretty good for what I know how to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I can do certain stuff, but
Or slow it down. I don't know.
yeah, I can slow it down and stuff like that.
Try and see. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Not on this device, but on playback on here, I can slow it down, speed it up. So that'll be interesting to try that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that was all the EVPs for the Methodist cemetery. But what was interesting is we weren't even there that long. We were there like 40 minutes?
Yeah. Not long at all.
40 minutes, and we, caught all those voices.
Yeah.
In just 30 minutes. And there was even a couple in there that I had not heard before. Mm-hmm. I started listening to it in these wicked good headphones. So let's see how we are on time. This is actually a good time to take a break. We have one quick commercial message, and then we'll be back, and we will discuss St. Andrew's Cemetery in Mount Holly.
Excuse me.
And welcome, everyone,
Hello. Good evening.
back into the safety of the bunker. We were, whoa, sorry about that. We were, during the break, discussing that last EVP from the Methodist cemetery again, and just kept playing it and trying to figure out what's being said. I can't figure it out. I can't nail it down. But anyone listening, if you hear this and you think you know what it's saying, just
Email?
a letter. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you can just send us an email. Get mail to the bunker, gmail.com. Love to hear what you guys hear. Moving on. So we visited. This is going back to August. Last August. We were at the St. Andrew's Cemetery in scenic Mount Holly, New Jersey. And this, I have a little bit more information on this one. These, see, it is on Pine Street in Mount Holly. It was established in 1742. So it was established in 1742. So there's probably already graves there before that, right?
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
I think so. It seems like some of them are so deteriorated over there you can't even read them. So established 1742. The graveyard received its royal charter from King George III in 1765. While Benjamin Franklin's son William was actually the governor of New Jersey. Interesting. He was also a Tory, wasn't he? Pretty sure he was a Tory.
Not sure.
I think he fled back to England when the revolution broke out because he was a Tory. He was, he wanted to be with the British.
Oh.
And I think he skipped town with some of the books from the Library Company of Burlington, and he still owes late fees on that.
Imagine that price.
It's got to be astronomical. I think, didn't Sharon did a school project and got the kids to calculate how much it would be? Pretty sure she did that.
I forget. Yeah.
It was like millions.
Has to be.
Anyway, so back to St. Andrews. Yeah, so this has been around a long time, and it's a cool cemetery that is really, it's back off the road, and it's really mostly hidden, actually. Mm-hmm. You just see some of the edges of it as you're driving down Pine Street, down towards Route 38.
Yeah.
But, so it's back off the road. It has this cool, big old stone church on the property. It's kind of remote. There's always a lot of deer running around in there. It's just a cool cemetery. We've been back there. How many times have we been there?
A lot.
Like 4 times, 5 times at least?
Yeah. About that.
Yeah, and so we did catch more EVPs here. This seems, I was saying this the other day, I think that the St. Andrew Cemetery is consistently more active than like most other ones we go to.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You agree with that? I think so. So, let's get into the EVPs, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
So this one is it's marked female. I can't remember which ones are which until I play them, but anyway, here we go. St. Andrews. Again, you gotta turn on the input so we can hear it.
Mariana voting 2014. This one's 2013. Let's see.
Okay, so that's clearly you talking in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're reading the dates on the
tombstone.
On the tombstone. But then there's another voice breaks in there. Play it one more time.
Mariana voting 2014. This one's 2013.
So that's where the voice was. Go back here.
14. This one's 2014.
So yeah, so right after you say 2014, then that other voice comes in.
Mariana voting 2014. This one's 2013. Let's see.
And this is another one of those that's like, voice sounds clear, but it's like distant or muffled or something.
I wonder what we were saying before that.
That's the thing. That's something I'm gonna do.
Yeah, because sometimes it leads into what.
Right, like it's sometimes a delay. Yeah.
Mm. Well, and then it says if you're then say we said something, and then it could answer the question that way instead of just like.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna start looking at that more closely.
Play that one again.
And then as we get AVPs, just going back and reanalyzing them to see in context if it kind of fits more than we realize. Here we go.
Mariana voting 2014. This one's 2013. 2014. This one's 2013. 2014. This one's 2013. It sounds like something about her baby, and then please. I lost my baby. That's my baby, please.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Let me listen again.
2014. This one's 2014. This one's 2013. You lost your baby, please. Something about they lost the baby.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like a.
I mean, there's something being said.
It's a. I don't know. It's just an off-putting voice for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here we have. Here's just like a mumble, basically. Yeah, so we're just walking from one spot to the next. You hear, our footbeats in the background there. But yeah, just like mumbling. Blah, 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 blah.
Play again. So they're saying you're being nosy, and then someone out. There's two spirits there.
I just heard that too.
Right, and I was wondering what this young man and his daughter was looking at a cemetery, and I'm always curious, and I was like, oh, I wonder what happened. I feel bad because they look like they lost, a young person, and, and then we were walking, they left, and we were walking up towards it to read it, and there's two people there. One's an older female, I'm going to say 30s, and it's saying you're being nosy, and then another female comes in a little older and says like laughing, yeah, like that. That's what that is there.
Just as we stopped and you started saying that,
yeah.
it's at the same moment I heard it.
Yeah. So there's two different. So they're saying as we're walking, and I knew I knew I was being nosy but I was just curious, and I was respectful. I waited till they left, and then I was like, I wonder what happened. I felt bad, but I walk around reading cemeteries, tombstones all the time, so it's not unusual.
Right.
But I was just curious because it seemed like they lost somebody young, and yes, I was being nosy because I was like, well, who was it? But I was doing it respectively. I waited. I didn't come up to them.
Yeah, they had walked away.
So play it again. This one to me is a class A because you can hear what she's saying.
Okay, think about this. Is she saying you're being nosy, or is she saying you're being noisy?
Nosy.
Nosy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's an attitude. Listen.
Okay. Here we go.
Being nosy. You're being nosy. Yes, she is. So you have one young girl, and I can tell I can feel it because I'm the medium, and she's like,
she
has an attitude. She's like, you're being nosy, and the other female voice says, yes, she is. So there's two voices coming in there, and I'm getting chills now. So I'm verifying, even though we're not there now.
Yeah,
the spirits are still communicating.
Yeah, now that I'm listening to it like that, you can definitely hear the attitude.
Yeah, listen to it again. You're being nosy, and then an older female spirit sounds like, yes, she is. He is. You're being nosy. You're being nosy with an attitude, and then the other one says, yes, she is.
Yeah, I hear that. I definitely hear that.
That's probably one of our best EVPs.
The first part is crystal clear.
People may judge us, but that's what we do. So I don't.
Yeah,
it's okay.
And again, when this was captured, there was not anyone around.
Right. They may hear something different, but to me, that's a class. And that's a class A. When we both agree on an EVP.
That sounds pretty.
Yeah,
clear.
but you can tell she had, and I could probably describe her, but that'll be another show. But that's what I feel like. I can tell she's got it. And who knows? It could have been even... Because remember, I was feeling it was like a younger spirit, probably like in their 30s or something. So that, who knows, maybe maybe it was that spirit telling me I'm being nosy, leave her loved ones alone. But they left.
They did. They had walked away. There was no one anywhere around.
But it's interesting because if you remember, I said, oh, they're going to think we're being nosy because I was kept looking. And I even said that. Before this was, way before when we were waiting for us, when we were walking back to the car waiting for them to leave. And then I was like, well, let me go see who died. And then,
wow.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. So now, again, that to me seems like a 100% intelligent interaction. Not one that we heard at the time.
No. No. And there was no one else there. We were just walking.
No one else anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere near us. There's no possible way. There's a person over there unaccounted for that would account for that voice. Close to the microphone.
And it's a female. Two females. Two different spirits because you can hear the tone in the young person's voice.
She have dark hair?
Yeah, she did have dark hair, by the way.
Okay.
She did have dark hair. That's the younger one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
the one that spoke
I can
first.
feel her presence now. Yeah. And she was telling us, she had dark hair. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this might be a good time in the show to explain that. I mentioned that we go to cemeteries all the time, but we're the type of people that will ask permission. If we go there and ask questions, we're very polite.
Yeah.
If there's a tombstone that's knocked over, we'll fix it. Like something's out of askew or something, like we'll straighten and fix it up.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't doing anything. We weren't doing anything disrespectful. We were just curious because that's what I am. I just I like to read tombstones.
Oh yeah, it's great.
And grave marks and see.
It's kind of like a walking meditation, really.
Yeah, I mean that's what I do for fun. So it's sometimes
it's kind of a meditative thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very
not
quiet.
fun, but it's relaxing to me. Cemeteries, even though I used to be afraid of them, but now that
Absolutely.
I can talk to them and communicate with the dead, it's just to me it's just not. I don't. It's not, it's more curious. More I understand it more.
Yeah, but it's it's usually deserted, very peaceful, quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time we're the only ones there.
Yeah.
occasionally see one other person or whatever, but they're quiet,
Yeah.
just walking around, just doing their thing, you know. So it's very relaxing, you know. This site in particular is producing pretty darn good EVPs. Okay, let me see. Okay. Oh yeah. So this next one, I think again, someone else may hear something different, but I think this is an intelligent response to something that I said. So play it in. Let's see.
Strange. Well, then everybody dies, and that's it.
Okay.
I lived here.
So the voice is towards the end. I'll play the whole clip again, and then I'll repeat that part a couple times.
Strange. Well, then everybody dies, and that's it. Strange. Well, then everybody dies, and that's it.
Okay, I'm hearing, but I live here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to know where to cut the EVP to show enough context, but then, you know, to not be too long. What I do sometimes is cut the short clip by itself, and if I realize there's context like before that, I'll clip it, like make a long version and a short version. But yeah, with these, I'm gonna have to go back and look at these, like basically just re-listen to the whole entire original raw recordings and see, you know, if that voice that pops up is actually referring to something that we said. You know, it could have been even 5 minutes before that, but who knows. But it'll be interesting to go back and look at that. So, okay, so this next one is, we're again just looking at a gravestone, looking at the numbers and dates and stuff, and towards the end of the clip, like, a voice just kind of pops up, like, it's right next to us. You can tell in the recording, but again, there was no one there. Here we go.
1775 to 1780.
Major 2nd Regiment.
Wow. Sorry, excuse my foot. I know it's. I'm sorry. It's rude. Wow, 1770. Wow, 1770. Wow, 1770.
Yeah, to me, that one's crystal clear too. It's just like this, somebody saying what, but it sounds like it's right next to us, but there's no one around. Pretty cool. The guy could be intelligent, could be completely residual. This is I don't know what the hell this is. This is a weird voice. I don't know what. That sounds bizarre. I'll just play it. You hear that?
Yeah.
I don't know what. And unfortunately, I'm moving the recorder in my hand at the same time, so that's making a little sound also. I don't know. It sounds like a voice to me, but I don't know what the heck.
Yeah, I can't understand it.
I can't understand. I don't know what it. I can't place if it's male or female. I don't. It's just. I don't know what it is.
Play it again. I hear it's a male, and I hear "Where are you?"
Oh, really?
And you can hear me saying "Way over there." So it sounds like, well, I'm further up, and then it's a male, older male. He's got a beard, and you can hear he's like, you know, like, how you doing over there? And then he says over there. What are you doing over there? What did I say? Play it again. Where are you? Yeah, it's a man. Where are you? Because I'm saying, way over there. He's saying, where are you?
Huh.
Listen, play it again.
Interesting.
After where are you? Where are you? And I'm saying way over there.
Well,
So it's
weird.
definitely a man. I can just feel the male energy. And that's what
Oh,
he's
okay.
saying. So he's like, but it sounds like I'm further away, but I guess maybe I was walking in front of you. Because it's your recorder, right?
Yeah.
So he's like right next to you. He's right there on you.
It sounds like it's like a breathy whisper, like right into the microphone.
Yeah, he's right there.
Because it's loud, but
Yeah.
it's like it's just,
No, he's right on top of you.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
That's what he's saying.
Man. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of these seem, way more intelligent than I even thought originally. I mean, I knew a few of these were, but that's interesting. But again, going back to the point you made before, it's might have nothing to do with the cemetery.
Right.
Could be just some spirit just wandering by.
Yeah.
Just happen to be there.
But I was saying, what was I saying? Way over there or something? That was crazy.
Yeah. This one, let's say it's marked whisper. I think this one we were having trouble hearing, this one.
Humidity is 64.9%.
I thought I heard 2 whispers.
Did ya?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I hear it. It's after you say you hear a whisper.
It's very
like
faint.
There's like a little, it's like a little breathy, it's like an exit or something.
64.9%.
I thought I heard 2 whispers.
Did ya?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought I heard 2 whispers.
Did ya?
Yeah. I thought I heard 2 whispers.
Did ya?
Yeah. Where are you going?
Is that what it said?
That's what it sounds like it says. Wait, let's play it again. Where are you? It's very, 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 very faint.
It is, yeah.
But you can hear it. Listen.
Percent.
I thought I heard 2 whispers.
Did ya?
Yeah.
Did ya?
Yeah. Where?
Did ya?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Right.
Yeah, I hear that. Huh. Interesting. So, yeah.
You're writing all these down.
So, what's that?
We got to write all these down. Sometimes that happens. You hear more after you hear it. When this is the first I'm hearing with headphones on.
Yeah, this is,
So you hear more, than just on the recorder with your own ear. This is the first time I'm hearing them with these on.
Yeah, even like I'm playing through the soundboard, so we're getting a little bit higher quality sound.
Clearer.
It's a little clearer. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you can hear a lot more. Yeah, it's really interesting how many seemingly intelligent responses we got, in the same cemetery. I mean, I would tend to believe it has something to do with the cemetery because it seems to be focused in that area and we get evidence in the same spots.
And then we were there recently and it was a very quiet, like nothing.
We did just take a walk over there with.
I think it has to, it has to do with the weather, the day. It just has to do with who's there. It just has to, a lot of combination, whether they feel like talking or not. You just don't know.
Yeah, that's true. They might just be sitting around like these fucking jerk-offs.
Yeah, it all depends. Depends on, they just didn't, and that's,
They're
I can't
over there just
control that.
making fun of me with my recorder. And
Yeah. There he is again.
I'm like, oh God, this guy.
We got a lot that one time, though. A lot of time.
Yeah, that was all from one trip, and we were there for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours
Well,
maybe.
it's easier to stay longer when it's warm out. It was like August and it was warm compared to like we just went last week and it was ice. It was too cold and windy. It was so windy.
Cold and windy. It was not.
Yeah, I don't blame them for
conducive to either recording or staying warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took a little walk with my daughters and
they were cold.
Aaron's boyfriend Lucas, and it was cold. I mean, I was bundled up, ready for it, and I was getting cold pretty quickly. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, even our trip in October was way warmer.
Mm-hmm. It was warmer. It was warm in October.
It was
for October.
Yeah, it seems to be getting warm later and later in the year around here. These past like couple decades. But anyway, so there's our EVPs. I was interested to see the poll that I put up, and I agree with the majority of the votes. I think it's a little bit of both. But like you had said, and it's something that as far as cemeteries go, a lot of people don't say that or make that connection, but it could very well just be Aunt Fanny from down the street, or just someone wandering by, or who's to say it even works like that? Maybe.
But then again, when we're there and we address one of the names on the tombstones, are you here, Mrs. So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so? We do that too.
Yes, we do.
So
yes, we do, and we have not. I don't think, to my knowledge, have we gotten a direct response from that sort of questioning. If we try to address any particular, names on gravestones or whatever, or historical markers or anything else that's over there, I don't think we've ever really gotten a direct response. I'll have to go back through my files and look, but I'm pretty sure that I've not ever received a direct response when addressing a tombstone in a graveyard. But here we are just walking around, and we're occasionally reading the tombstones and stuff like that, but we're also just having random conversations. And, and here's all these voices popping up and joining in. Interesting how that, and again, how one time you go and it's hopping and everything's crazy and you get 30 EVPs, and you go like 3 days later and it's dead silent. Nothing's happening. Yeah.
You just don't know.
That's why they say it's like fishing.
They do?
I think they do. They do now. No, I've heard people make that.
Okay.
I
never heard that
comparison.
Oh.
It ghost hunting's like fishing. Because you're just throwing.
Sometimes you get the bait or the fish, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah. You're baiting your hook and you're casting it out there, and sometimes you catch a fish in 30 seconds. Sometimes I heard that, and sometimes
I saw that.
Oh, you're seeing stuff over there?
Yeah.
Oh. I smudged before this episode just because we're going to be getting heavy into talking to and about, cemeteries and the dead. So I figured a little Pale Santa wouldn't hurt, but...
No.
What was I talking about?
It's all good. Oh, you were saying going fishing.
Oh, right. Yeah, so... Yeah, because, you're baiting your hooks, you're throwing out lines and nets or whatever, and something might bite, something usually doesn't, but...
Yeah. No.
Every once in a while you get lucky.
That's right.
Like we did at the center with almost 50 EVPs from 3 hours, 4 hours?
Yeah, like 4 hours.
It was 4 hours.
7 to 11, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was outrageous.
Like you said, you don't know. It's potluck.
It is. Really is. I want to thank everyone for joining us, and we will see you next time. Right here in the bunker. That was cheesy. Sorry.
Good night. Thanks for joining us.
Good night, everybody. Cheers. I want to thank you for tuning in to another episode in the bunker. If you enjoy this podcast, there are a few things that you can do to help support the show. If you're on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, you can leave us a 5-star rating and review, and this will help others to find the bunker and the safety that it provides. And the podcast is free to listen, but it isn't free to create. So I urge you that if you enjoy the podcast, go to our homepage and click that support tab and just help support the show. This will allow us to provide much more content moving forward. You can also just share our page on social media. The Bunker is located on Twitter at InTheBunkerCast. Again, that is InTheBunkerCast on Twitter. Also, you can send us a direct email at mailtothebunker@gmail.com. That's mailtothebunker@gmail.com. If you're experiencing some strange activity or just want to tell your story, feel free to shoot us a message, either on Twitter or at Gmail. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time in the bunker.